be back. Mayor Nenshi, why was it, you talked earlier today, but can you just reiterate why this project is important to the city right now?
You know, many people come at this from many different angles. For me, I think that we always need to continue building the things that make the city work and the things that make the city work for everyone. It was important on this particular deal that we had a great financial deal, and I think we did, but it was also important for us to think about the intangibles that we're investing in, those things that really make a city work. And we do that every single day at the City of Calgary. We invest in things that have social return. And so I wanted to make sure that we had a great balance of social and financial return, and I think we've accomplished that here.
How will this be different? We have the Saddle Dome and it's got the Flames games, but it doesn't attract people to hang around. Why will this one be different?
You know, some people say that just because if we move it outside of the boundary of Stampede Park, somehow magically more development will occur, and that has never been my argument. We believe that we're finally investing in East Victoria Park and that will develop as a cultural and entertainment district, frankly, with or without this deal. But what this allows us to do is have an anchor, and it allows the development of that district to happen just a little bit faster. But ultimately, as the city grows and prospers, this is where we would like to concentrate some of that entertainment kinds of businesses. You know, a lot of economists will argue that these kinds of districts simply displace development from other parts of the city, and certainly we've seen that in other cities, including the one to the north of us. But the difference here is that this is a long-term play. This is a play about the growth and the future prosperity of Calgary and how we would like to concentrate some of those businesses in this area. We believe having this arena there will accelerate that. And we believe that taking that attitude rather than we are building an arena in the middle of a parking lot, which is sort of an old school model of how to build arenas, will help that acceleration happen.
We keep hearing that feedback was so split from Calgary. How did you make your decision if you didn't have a clear indication from the feedback you were reading?
Well, the same way I make all my decisions, because ultimately in this job, in all these years, I haven't made decisions by polls. I don't go 51.2% of people are in favor, so I'm in favor. I listen to people in a very big way. I make sure that questions the public are asking are questions that I am also asking and questions that get answered. But ultimately, I also have to use my own judgment. You know, I'm privy to living and breathing the city's finances and the city's future every minute of my life. And so as a result, I have to apply that filter as well as the filter of public input as we make our decisions. And ultimately, this was the right decision to make.
Deep down, do you think when they tear down the Saddle Dome, it's going to be even as sad as tears welling up?
Well, I have a secret plan, which I'm not at liberty to share.
Come on.
We'll
forget about it in 4 years anyway.
It's such a good plan. Listen, I am going to be super sad. One of the questions that we asked at the beginning was, we didn't want to end up in a situation that governments often end up when they build something new and shiny and they don't know what to do with the old thing. And certainly our friends up the river, or up the highway I should say, have given us an instructive example of how you should deal with that first. And so we commissioned a report on the potential future uses of the Saddle Dome some time ago. It doesn't work as a community hockey arena. It doesn't work as a grocery store, you know, to use the example for Maple Leaf Gardens, right? It doesn't really. It's a giant round building in the middle of Stampede Park, very steep. There really are no other great purposes for it, and we don't need to continue it unless, of course, we get the Olympics. I just want Donna to come back more often. We don't really need that second arena. So listen, if somebody out there has a brilliant plan for how to repurpose that building, send them in now. But ultimately, we have to be responsible and not keep a building going and pay those maintenance fees to keep it going if there's no use for it. But if you have a great plan, call me now. I'll put it on my list because they have 2 excellent plans.
So there's
I just have to convince everybody that they are correct.
So there's a slim chance it couldn't get demolished.
A very, very slim chance. But like I say, people are ingenious, people are entrepreneurial, people are innovative. They have ideas that I've never thought of, and I'm always willing to listen to them.
Just redo the deal. That's a condition, right?
It is actually a condition.
One of the councillors said that going forward with the deal means that the city of Calgary is capable of doing something, getting their act together. What do you think of that? Is that right?
Je ne crois pas ça. Parce que nous faisons des choses importantes chaque jour ici. Nous sommes une communauté des gens qui rêvent et qui font. Et pour moi, c'est important de comprendre qu'on le fait chaque jour. Et aujourd'hui, on a fait autre chose pour prouver ça. And I'm going to answer that in English because I just had to do it in French first because I was being nice. I don't like the argument that says, oh, this proves we can do something. Because here's the thing. We do amazing things in Calgary every single day. Citizens do amazing things, entrepreneurs do amazing things, people build businesses, and they build great lives, and I am incredibly proud of that. And our public servants build amazing things every day. Have you noticed that building just outside of the doors here? The very best public library in the world? Have you noticed the 4 incredible rec centers that we have built under the purview of this council? I don't like the people who say, oh, Calgary's lost its mojo, oh, we're down, because you keep saying that, people are going to start believing it. But it's not true. I'd rather live here than anywhere in the world, precisely because we dream big and we get things done, and this is just another example of that.
There's been a lot of big city arena deals done the last decade. Do you think this one stacks up well against the rest of them?
Very well against mid-sized market and very well against Canadian ones. Very, very well. I mean, you're always going to look at Seattle, where without a team in place, they are giving money to the city rather than taking from, but it's a different environment. It's an NHL and an NBA team. It's completely different economics in a completely different market. You look at the LA Clippers, and that is a completely different market. You know, frankly, you've got 15 million people in a metro area. The merchandise you can sell to the fans totally changes the economics, not to mention the media rights of that work. So yes, for the context that we're in, a city of this size in Canada, in the environment we're in with only hockey and not basketball, I think this is probably the best deal you'll ever see.
Do you think, though, that having Edmonton say yes to funding the arena there because other cities didn't do that kind of painted you in a corner and kind of forced you to do it too?
No, not really. It became very clear right from the very beginning that, look, that Edmonton deal was signed at a different time, in a different context, in a different place that had different needs. And I was always very clear from the very beginning that Edmonton deal is not the right deal for Calgary, and I think everyone agreed with that.
You know, it's always about Calgary and Edmonton, so you don't have a design yet. Is this building going to be better than Edmonton's?
Let me just point out that no one has asked me the most important question of the last few weeks, and I'm shocked at you people for not asking me, which is, what do I think of Edmonton's downtown public library design?
Well, do go on.
And the answer is, I am thrilled that Edmonton is investing in a downtown public library because we have done extraordinary things, 1.25 million visitors in the first 8 months. It's changed so many people's lives, and I'm thrilled that Edmonton will also be able to change people's lives in that way.
Trying one more time then, what are the learnings from Edmonton's arena experience?
Okay, I can answer that.
Financing aside.
Financing aside. And look, the good news is they've got a beautiful building, and we will have an equally beautiful building. I don't believe in iconic architecture, library aside. I believe in architecture that works. That architecture is functional and beautiful, and you can do all of those at the same time. And I know that's precisely what my colleagues at the Calgary Municipal Land Corporation, who built that library, will do. But the good news is that with newer facilities like the one in Edmonton, like the one in Quebec City, we have actually learned a lot about what works and what doesn't work. And of course, we will take all of those learnings into the design for this and learn from those and make this a really, really functional, solid, robust, long-lasting building that people will enjoy.
As you yourself have said, this has been a polarizing experience. You meet a lot of people as you go through Calgary. There are people who are happy to see you. It seems from
Everyone's
social media,
happy to see me, to be clear.
there will be some people that are unhappy that you of all people supported this, and this is public money going towards this project. What's your 60-second pitch to these people? To try
I
and
get
convince
60?
them, well, that they're wrong. What would you say to them?
I will never try to convince anybody that they're wrong. The points of view that people have are incredibly valid and incredibly important for us to honor and understand. I will say that a lot of the conversations I've had with people have gone the following way. Thank you for standing up for the 4 Calgarians. And I say, but what do you think of the deal? And they say, if you say it's a good deal, we know you asked the right questions. And fundamentally, that's where I stand, is whether you agree or disagree, I hope you agree that Council asked the right questions, the Council negotiated hard, and City Administration negotiated hard on behalf of citizens, and ultimately we ended up with a deal that was fair. Thank you.